Hello, this is Heather Clifford with eXp Realty here on beautiful Vancouver Island with a market update on the Campbell River and the Comox Valley areas for the month of April 2023. We will look at what happened in the past month. I put a presentation together for you. This is my interpretation of the market. There are a lot of real estate agents out there, and depending on what type of properties you're working on at this time, or what type of listings you have, or what you read in the media, or it goes on within your own office, you will have a different interpretation of the real estate market. And this is mine. And I encourage you, if you like to have statistics on real estate, that you reach out and ask me for a free copy every month as they come live off the press. So let's have a look at this month's market update. I've put a presentation together for you, as I always do, and I'm going to share my screen with you now. Okay, here we are with our mid-April 2023 market update. And at the end of my presentation, I have a couple little shout outs to do, as I like to do, and we will get to that at the end of the presentation. So let's talk a little bit about our chair, Kelly O'Dwyer from the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. Each month puts out a little blurb with our statistics. And this month, we're talking about the housing market brisker than it was in March. Now, myself as a real estate agent, in early March, I was extremely busy. In fact, I wrote 4 offers in the first 2 weeks of March. However, now I'm into April, and while I'm getting a lot of showings on my listings, I have quite a number of listings. We're getting a lot of showings, but I have not had anyone bring an offer to the table as of yet. So I'm finding April to be a little wishy-washy so far. I'm expecting that to change as we get into spring and more buyers come into the Comox Valley and Campbell River area to look at real estate. So sales were slower last month than at this time last year, of course, because last year in 2022, we still on Vancouver Island, we're having a very brisk market. In fact, our market never actually shifted until about July or August. And that's when we saw the sudden slowdown and realized that we were catching up to, say, where other provinces or even the bigger cities market had already quieted down at the beginning of 2022. So that said, March was surprisingly busy for many realtors, and we're seeing a lot of optimism in the market. I do say yes, there is a lot of optimism out there, and it almost feels like maybe we're coming back into what used to be a normal market, and spring was the time that people put their properties on the market for sale. Spring has always traditionally in real estate been the busier time of the year for putting homes on the market. So we continue to see multiple offers on well-priced properties, but overpriced homes are taking longer to sell. And sellers need to recognize that their home isn't going to fetch the same amount of money that it would have last year. But buyers shouldn't expect prices to drop drastically. And we're going to have a look at some of the headlines out of the newspaper in the next slide. But prices are still a little bit negotiable as far as the homes that have been sitting on the market. We continue to see multiple offers on well-priced properties, but overpriced homes are taking longer to sell, and sellers need to recognize that their home isn't going to fetch the same amount of money that it would have last year. But buyers shouldn't expect prices to drop drastically. And that comes from Kelly O'Dwyer, who is the chair of the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. She goes on to say, in fact, prices in many markets are up from February, and this could indicate that they're bottoming out. And I really like looking at the different areas here on Vancouver Island when it comes to real estate. And Kelly O'Dwyer is correct. There are 2 markets where the price of properties did not go down again last month. And I'll share that with you in the next few slides. So let's have a look at the headlines. It says Vancouver area home sales looking strong this spring. That comes from the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. Next Canadian home buyers have appetite, but where's the stock? Now, those two things that the real estate board said, strong spring sales, and then the next headline was, where is the stock? Where are the houses? Once again, supply and demand is going to drive the pricing. If it's going to go higher, it's because we don't have enough properties on the market to satisfy the number of buyers that are out there. It's simple supply and demand. Prices for single-family homes and overall sales volume continued softening on a year-over-year basis across the Okanagan in March. So the Okanagan has not felt the shift in the market from reading this headline. There are signs that BC's once hot real estate market is beginning to recover from a slump in sales and prices. So the media is telling us, based on, I'm not sure where they're getting their data from, that the market is starting to shift. I personally can see it based on the numbers that come out every single month. BCREA chief economist Brendan Ogmanson says the market is showing early signs that home sales and prices have bottomed out and expect to see more stability soon. So the stability comes for the sellers. And if I was a buyer right now listening to this, I would say, if I am looking to purchase in the next few months, now would be the time to get in the market and see if there's a property that you want to be purchasing. And then last but not least, hoping to buy a home, Canadian prices forecast to rise by the end of 2023 and rise by about 4.5%. So if we saw a 5% drop year over year, then we're going to regain it by the end of this year. But that all depends if you can afford to hold on to your property if you're thinking of selling, and where your mortgage rate is at. Like, there's so many different variables that we have to think of when it comes to buying a house or selling a house. It's not just where the market is overall. So here's our snapshot of month over month. We can see January, and I want to point out that this is the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. This encompasses all of the markets that they cover. I then will further dissect this because I like to take a micro view of the areas that I work in and not the overall blanketed statement that you get out of the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. So you can see in January, they were benchmarked at 735,800. It dropped again in February to 732,500. And then here we are in March statistics at 731,400. So that's another $1,000 drop. So you can see the increments of the housing benchmark price of a detached house was coming down 3,000. Now we're at 1,000. So it looks like it is starting to balance itself out. But let's have a further look at where our prices are in each community. And I really think, depending on where you live, you must have a micro view of your area. So Campbell River Market actually went up a little bit. Comox Valley went up over last month. But Cowichan Valley, Port Alberni, Parksville, and Nanaimo continued to go down slightly. And it really varied in the pricing. So you can see in my next slide, I actually thought it would be important to show you the overall Vancouver Island single family sits at 731,400. And last month it was 732. And then 3 months ago it was 750. So you can see the significant drop that the overall market has had. If we go into Campbell River, you can see 3 months ago we were at 661, then we went to 652, and now we're back up at 664,900. As well as the Comox Valley, they maintained around the 789 for a couple of months, and then they have bounced up to 795,800. But year over year, Campbell River area is down about 8%, and the Comox Valley is down about 5%. It is taking homes approximately 45 days to sell right now, and the list to sell ratio is about 98%, and that's really good. It still shows you that lack of product, it's a seller's market a little bit more than it is a buyer's market. I was working with a client that actually was looking at purchasing a property in another province, and I don't know if this property came on the market too low, but they garnered 11 offers. It sold $200,000 over asking price, and that was a little unnerving for my client to see that type of activity going on in that market. I haven't seen anything like that in our market. In fact, I was also told that the real estate agent would not look at offers subject to sale. And we certainly will look at subject to sale offers in our market. Yes, when the things get a little bit crazy, it doesn't make any sense for a seller to accept that type of an offer. But right now, it's definitely something that a seller would look at. Who's buying in our real estate market and who is selling right now? I personally have 3 probate sales on the market right now, estate sales. So obviously someone has passed away and the property is just finishing up its probate. So that's one type of a seller that I have. I have a divorce situation. We also have a couple of listings where people are moving out of the province, leaving British Columbia. And then I have a foreclosure on the market as well. So there's lots of different reasons why people are selling. I do have one where they're moving up the socio ladder. The house has become too small for the family. Who is buying? I just sold a lovely home in Campbell River to a young couple that's coming out here from Saskatchewan. She is a veterinarian, and they're very excited about coming to British Columbia. I have another sale, which was the case of a divorce situation. My other sale was a transfer. So that's 2 actually in the last month where people have transferred in. And I showed property this weekend, people from the mainland that are thinking of getting out of the city. Also, a lot of people coming from the Pemberton and Whistler area. So we still have a lot of people that are looking to invest in our area. I sold a condo to a young couple that lives in Pemberton, but they're just holding this as an investment property until a few years down the road and the kids are finished school, and then they will move here to the beautiful Campbell River area. I like to do a little month-over-month view of, and I found this was interesting because last month there was many more listings that came on, and we have basically about the same amount of sales. So there is our supply and demand that I was talking about. We had more listings in March. We don't have as many in April, but we still have the demand and the number of deals that were written. The sold's basically the same as well. Here's a quick look at our condo market. In Campbell River, our prices have bumped up just a little bit by $4,000 over last month. It still has not caught up to 3 months ago, but it is getting better. In the Comox Valley area, we have also gone up over last month, not as much as 3 months ago as well. We're sitting at $386,800 for the condo market. Okay, in the townhouse market, Campbell River is at $530,500 this month, down over last month by about $12,000, and not quite as much as it was 3 months ago. In the Comox Valley, we're at $555,600 for the month of March, and last month we were at $569,900. So that is a drop of about $14,000, and it's not quite as high as it was 3 months ago. So there's quite a bit of fluctuation in the townhouse market. Now I'd like to have a quick look at some of the properties that I have on the market right now. This is a beautiful property. This backs onto the Oyster River. There's 174 feet of riverfront property on this lovely acreage, 2.09 acres, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's about 2,700 square feet with a small in-law suite. And right now the driveway is being paved. And this is a lovely property being offered on the market today at $1,089,000. I have a home here on Country Close in Campbell River or Willow Point. This is a very popular area in Willow Point. Gorgeous little neighborhood, 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, 1,972 square feet in amazing big lot, 11,000 plus square feet or 0.26 of an acre. This is definitely a wonderful little family neighborhood and just blocks from hiking trails, biking trails, the beach, schools. It's a nice little property. Here we have our listing on Pinecrest Road at the new price of $735,000. It is a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home that has had a ton of renovations done from the outside to the windows, to the floorings, to the kitchen. It has a 2-bedroom in-law suite and a separate work office studio with a full bathroom. This is a lovely property. It has had some great work done. It's in a wonderful neighborhood, very convenient location as well. I have a property on Laurel Drive in Royston, and this home has amazing views. It is a big house. It's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It has 2 kitchens in it, so it does definitely have the in-law suite. It is on direct bus into Courtenay. It's being offered at $925,000 in Laurel's Heights. It's a wonderful neighborhood, and this property has huge potential. I have a lovely, beautiful, scenic listing on the river in Campbell River on Campbell River Road. This is a big 3,700 square foot home on over 1.26 acres. And once again, this is a riverfront property. It has a separate coach house as well. It was built in 2014 and it is offered right now on the market in Campbell River for $1,724,900. And it's very easy to view this property. Just let me know. I have some land on the market, 18 acres under the power line in the Comox Valley. It is not ALR. It is just 1 block from the city. So nice property. You could have many different crops on this 18 acres, 2 homes, lots of potential for things to do. That's on Camco Road in Courtenay. And then just 1 block from the Arden Elementary School is this lot on Lake Trail Road, Lot A. And this is just under 10 acres, no power lines. It's already been perked. And once again, beautiful property, view potential, and you can build up to 2 homes on this property as well. This is our 5th Street, the garage, and it should be coming on the market pretty soon this spring. I will let you know a little bit more about it. And I just want to do a shout out to Fannie Bay Oysters, where my husband, who is the admin guy for Heather Clifford eXp Realty, makes smoked oysters. And I was lucky enough this weekend while I was doing open houses and Norm was busy smoking more oysters because my clients love them. We get the whiskey from the Shelter Point Distillery. He brines his oysters with them. He wanted to get his oysters done before the end of April because we don't usually eat oysters or smoke oysters on months that do not have R in them. So some of you might know oysters aren't as good because that is technically the time when they are breeding. So we stick to the months that have R in it for the oysters. So thank you, Norm, very much for some more lovely oysters in my cupboard to give away to my clients. My name is Heather, and this is our market update. I'm just going to stop sharing now. So there you are. That is my market update for mid April for 2023. If you have any questions, remember a lot of these statistics do not cover off waterfront properties or large acreages due to the fact that they would skew the numbers, but each property should be appraised independently from another property. And it actually is kind of like a little bit of a science to come down with the perfect price to put a property on the market for. So let me know if you need any help, and have a fantastic spring. My name's Heather. Take care, everyone.